Hello and welcome everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video I would like to discuss about one of the important topic, that is audit of cooperative societies. Okay. So without any further delay, let's get started. As you know that cooperative society may be broadly defined as an association of persons who have voluntarily joined together to achieve a common economic objective, which is possible through formation of a democratically control business organization, making equitable contribution to the capital as required, and accepting a fair share of risk and benefit of the undertaking. Elimination of middlemen and sharing of gains of economic activities seems to be the hallmark of a cooperative society. And a cooperative society may be formed for different purposes. Accordingly, there may be consumers cooperative societies, housing cooperative societies, industrial cooperating societies, urban and rural cooperative banks, etc. So, audit as per section 17 of the Cooperative Societies Act 1912. The registrar shall audit or cause to be audited by some person authorized by him by general or special order in writing in this behalf the accounts of every registered society once at least in every year. And the audit under subsection 1 shall include an examination of overdue debts, if any, and a valuation of the assets and liability of the societies. The registrar, the collector, or any person authorized by general or special order in writing in this behalf by the registrar shall at all times have access to all the books, accounts, papers, and securities of a society, and every officer of the society shall furnish such information in regard to the transactions and working of the society as the person making such inspection may be required. A registrar means a person appointed to perform the duties of a registrar of cooperative societies under this act. Under this act, a registrar means a person appointed to perform the duties of a registrar of cooperative societies under this act. Okay, the following points should be kept in mind where events of uncooperative societies. Qualifications of auditor. Generally, only a chartered accountant within the meaning of the Chartered Accountant Act 1949 can be appointed as the auditor of a cooperative society. कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी का ऑडिटर सिर्फ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट ही अपॉइंट हो सकते हैं as per the Chartered Accountant Act 1949. However, in certain state, Cooperative Societies Act, a person holding a government diploma in cooperative accounts or in cooperation and accounts, or a region who has served as an auditor in the cooperative department of government may also be appointed as auditor. Means first and most, only a chartered accountant with the meaning of the Chartered Accountant Act 1949 can be appointed as the auditor of a cooperative society. And also in certain state, Cooperative Societies Act, a person holding a government diploma in cooperative accounts or in cooperation and accounts, or a region who has served as an auditor in the cooperative department of government may also be appointed as the auditor. Then the auditor should ensure that he is duly qualified to act as auditor of the society. And in case of appointment of the auditor, an auditor of a cooperative society is appointed by the registrar of cooperative societies, and the auditors who are appointed conducts the audit on behalf of the registrar and submit his report to him as also to the society. The audit fees are paid by the society on the basis of statutory scale of fees prescribed by the registrar according to the category of the society audited. For example, the audit fees of cooperative society and urban cooperative banks are to be calculated with reference to working capital at the prescribed rates. Working capital here means funds. As per Cooperative Act, working capital means, you can say, funds at the disposal of the societies. Funds at the disposal of the society, inclusive of paid up share capital, funds built up out of profits, and monies raised by borrowing and by the other means. In case of Cooperative Society Act, uh, the working capital means funds at the disposal. Working capital here means funds at the disposal of the society, inclusive of paid up share capital, funds built up out of profit, and monies raised by borrowing and by other means. Then books of accounting records. Under section 43 subsection H of the Cooperative Societies Act, a state government can frame rules prescribing the books and accounts to be kept by a cooperative society. For example, in Maharashtra, the cooperative societies are required to maintain cash book, general ledger, personal ledger, stock register, property register, etc. As per Maharashtra cooperative societies uh, uh, guidelines are to maintain cash book, general ledger account, personal ledger account, stock register, and property register. Uh, in case of cash book, it may be mentioned to record particulars regarding cash received and expenses under suitable heads with clear distinction between capital and revenue items of receipts and expenses. And in case of stock register, it may contain with complete information as regards receipts, issues, and balance of stock in trade date wise. In a producers cooperative society, perpetual inventory records may be maintained based on an appropriate costing method. In case of register of asset and investment, it will contain complete particulars regarding the various immovable and movable assets belonging to the society, such as types of assets, location, date of acquisition, cost, depreciation provided, and so on. Then register of fixed deposits. In case of register of fixed deposit, in the case of a cooperative society or a cooperative bank or any other society which is authorized by its bylaws to accept deposit from members, non-members, a register of fixed deposit may be maintained, giving details as regards the dates of the acceptance, maturity, interest accrual, repayment, amount of deposit, rate of interest, etc. In case of register of sureties, in the case of a cooperative credit societies, loans are given against personal security of members as also surety. Surety means guarantee. And with the condition that two or more members, provided by two or more members, the register of sureties will give particulars about the number of borrowers in respect of which a member has stood surety, and so whether it is within the overall limit of suretyship that may. And another important point, that is a restriction on shareholding, means shareholding in a cooperative society is subject to the limit prescribed in section 5 of the Cooperative Society Act 1912. Section 5 of Cooperative Societies Act 1912 में मेंशन है कि शेयर होल्डिंग इन ए कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी इज सब्जेक्ट टू द लिमिट. Accordingly, no matter of the society other than a registered society can hold more than 20% of the total number of shares of the society or such number of shares which in value exceeds rupees 1000. A cooperative society cannot prescribe any other limit in its bylaws which is violative of these provisions. In addition to this, the act passed by the states may also prescribe other restrictions as regards shareholding. The auditor should see that the provisions regarding shareholding is duly followed or not. Then next important point is in case of cooperative societies, that is restriction on loan. As per section 29A, a registered cooperative society can only grant loans to its members, though with prior approval of the registrar. It may grant loans to other registered cooperative societies. The auditor should see that the loans granted by the society are in conformity with these provisions. Then another important point, a restriction on borrowing. Subject to the restriction imposed by its bylaws, a cooperative society may accept loans and deposit from its members as well as non-members. It is the auditor's duty to ascertain that the restrictions, if any, laid down by the bylaws are carefully observed. In case of investment of funds, there are restrictions on investment of funds belonging to a cooperative society. Accordingly, a society may invest its funds in any of the following: section 32 of the Central Cooperative Society Act, central or state cooperative bank, any securities specified in section 20 of the Indian Trust Act 1882, any shares, securities, bonds or debentures of any other cooperative society with limited liability, any bank or person carrying on banking business or a cooperative bank other than a central or state cooperative bank as duly approved by the registrar. Okay, then in any other members as duly permitted by requisite authority. And what are the auditor's duty? The auditor should ascertain whether the requirement as to investment of the society funds are being observed. Okay. So another important point in case of Cooperative Society Act 1912, appropriation of profits. According to the Central Cooperative Society Act, 25% of the profits of a cooperative society should be transferred to a reserve fund before distribution of dividend or payment of bonus to its members. Central Cooperative Acts के अनुसार 25% of the profit of a cooperative society should be transferred to a reserve fund before distribution of dividend or payment of bonus to its members. However, the registrar may, having regard to the financial position of the society, reduce the percentage of profits to be transferred to the reserve fund. But in any case, he cannot reduce it to less than 10% of the profit of the society. Very important point. Apart from the above mandatory provision, a cooperative society may, subject to the provisions of its bylaws, appropriate its profits by way of transfer to other reserves, distribution of dividends to the member, etc. However, appropriation of profits must be duly approved by the members of the society in the general meeting called for the purpose. Then next important point is contribution to charitable purpose. According to section 34 of Cooperative Societies Act, a registered society may, with the sanction of the registrar, contribute an amount not exceeding 10% of the net profit remaining after the compulsory transfer to reserve fund for any charitable purpose as defined in section 2 of the Charitable Endowment Act 1890. कंट्रीब्यूशन टू चैरिटेबल पर्पस में क्या है कि सेक्शन 34 के अनुसार ए रजिस्टर्ड सोसाइटी में विद द सैंक्शन ऑफ द रजिस्ट्रार कंट्रीब्यूट एन अमाउंट नॉट एक्सीडिंग 10% ऑफ द नेट प्रॉफिट. जितना भी नेट प्रॉफिट हो रहा है उसके 10% दिया जाएगा चैरिटेबल पर्पस एंड नॉट एक्सीडिंग फॉर दैट आफ्टर compulsory transfer to reserve fund for any charitable purpose as defined in section 2 of the Charitable Endowment Act 1890. Special point in a cooperative society. First, general points. In general, while conducting audit of cooperative society, the auditor need to look into the following. The auditor need to check that the auditor should carefully go through the bylaws of the society and see that they are being observed both in letter and spirit. ऑडिटर को चेक करना है bylaws and also observe that they are being both in letter and spirit or not. Okay, then he should examine the register of members of the society and individual shareholdings कितना है ये सब चेक करना है. Then he should test check the internal check and control system operated by the society and model his audit examination based on its strength and weaknesses. ये सब भी चेक करना है. First need to check carefully, go by the bylaws of the society and see that they are being observed both in letter and spirit. Then need to check, examine the register of members of the society and individual shareholdings. He should test check the internal check and control system operated by the society and model his audit examination based on his strength and weaknesses. Then in case of audit of income, he should carefully vouch the receipt of cash. Cash received on account of share capital should be vouched with the register of members. Cash received against sales should be vouched with the cash memos, and invoices issued to the customers are as also sales account. Receipt of cash in respect of payment of interest and repayment of loans advanced by the society should be vouched with the loan agreement. Cash received from members towards construction of house or their maintenance should be vouched with the register of members. Demands made by the society from time to time and money receipts. Okay, in case of audit of expenditure, auditor should vouch all expenditure with reference to authorization from the managing committee, particularly in the case of a large capital expenditure, as also the bills received from individual parties, the money received obtained from them, and entries in the bank passbook along with counterfoils of checks. He should vouch the payment of loans from the loan agreements entered into with borrower members. He should vouch establishment expenses with reference to the resolution of the managing committee, agreements with the person concerned, and money received obtained from them. Other aspect point, he should appropriately classify overdue debts for a period from 6 months to 5 years and more and report them to the members with a note regarding the effect this might have on the financial position of the society. He should also put a note regarding the probability of recovery of such debt. Similarly, he should make a special reference to the overdue amount of interest from members. Generally, interest on overdue debt should not be credited to interest account. Generally, क्या होता है कि interest on overdue debt should not be credited to interest account but to the overdue interest reserve account. Okay, then a write-off of bad debt, if any, should be after prior authorization from the managing committee of the society. According to the Maharashtra Cooperative Society rules, a bad debt can be write-off only when it is certified to be irrecoverable by the auditor. As per Cooperative Society of Maharashtra, bad debt can only be written off only when it is certified to be irrecoverable by the auditor. This casts a special obligation on the auditor to ascertain whether the debt in question was created with the rules of the society and whether it has now really become bad and irrecoverable. So yes, a point need to remember and need to check by company auditor. Okay, so this is it all about audit of cooperative societies. You need to remember the definitions and the act of cooperative society and audit of as per section 17 of the Cooperative Society Act 1912. What are the qualification of auditor in case of audit of cooperative societies? and how to appointment of the auditor in case of cooperative societies, how to maintain books of accounts of cooperative societies as per Cooperative Society Act 1912. Then what are the restriction on shareholdings, what are the restriction on loan, restriction on borrowings, investment of funds, and appropriation of profit, how to create appropriation of profit, then contribution to charitable purpose, special point in case of cooperative society, what are the and how to conduct audit of income, how to conduct audit of expenditure, and other aspect point, ये सब आपको अ, अ, लिखना पड़ेगा. And also remember all such important points. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your support.